stronger. I will arise. I'm a survivor. Fight for my life. Coming back stronger. I will arise.
All right, well, good morning, KFA family. How we doing? It's kind of weak. All right. Well, man, so by a quick show of hands, who was at our event back in January, the KFA Summit? Awesome. Well, thank you for coming back. I appreciate that. For those of you joining us for the first time, welcome. We're glad that you're here, and I promise you, it is gonna be worth your time this morning. We are about to dive real deep into some just tactics, man, stuff that we can do this year to level our business up, to close more deals. I know it's been a tough start for a lot of us this year, and so we want to change that. So our event back in January was designed with one real main purpose in mind, and that was to just raise our energy levels of everybody in that room. So we had several keynote speakers fly from across the country to join us, and we had the biggest developers in Clark County there, and they shared their vision of where we were headed in Clark County, and that was really special. And then we had probably about 350 people in attendance. And so it was awesome. We loved it. It couldn't have gone any better in our minds, but the one thing that was missing was room for collaboration and group discussion. So that is where the quarterly masterminds come into play with KFA. These events are designed to be a little bit smaller, shorter, and really just getting into the meat of it, tactical. So we're going to be discussing stuff. There will be some participation from you guys today, some group discussion stuff. And so for those of you sitting in chairs, you may have to kind of scooch around and get into groups at a certain point, so be ready for that. And on that same note, I do want to make it pretty clear, though, that we all know, right, that like coming to these events alone isn't going to change our business, right? We need to obviously put things in place, bumpers throughout, week by week, that we can use to ensure that we're actually taking the right steps on a daily basis. And so it's kind of like, could you imagine if you went to the dentist but you never brushed your teeth? We would probably say you have poor hygiene, right? So similarly in our business, if we're going to events like this but we're not actually doing stuff on a daily, weekly basis, you're probably not going to get anywhere. And so on that note, we are excited to announce that this summer we'll be launching KFA Coaching, which will be a community-based program led by individuals in our community, so by the community, for the community. And the cool part about this is for everybody who's in this room today, your tuition will be 100% free if you want to get on that waiting list. So more details to follow. Go see Dawn and Ramona at that back table. Get your name on the list. If you have questions, they'll be happy to answer it for you. The limited seats, though, for that we could probably only do 30 people in the first class. So definitely want to make sure you get your name on that list. I think even if, whether you're a new agent or you're a veteran and you're just looking for a little more structure, accountability, and you want to sharpen your axe, this is going to be a great place to go. It's actually, to my knowledge, probably one of the only coaching programs that is not specific to a brokerage here in town. There'll probably be 4 or 5 different brokerages present helping contribute to this, different teachers every single class, so there'll be a lot of good stuff to learn there. So on that note, guys, without further ado, I want to bring up and introduce, I've been so excited about today, specifically for this reason. We're about to bring 3 ladies up here who have done what I believe to be the impossible over the last couple years. 2 of them are ranked respectively number 10 and number 8 in all of Clark County in buy sides closed over the last 12 months, which is pretty crazy when you realize that there's 3,600 agents in town, and it's even more wild when you begin to realize that none of these ladies have been licensed for longer than 2 years. So in a season where a lot of us are struggling, they've found some ways to close some real business. And they're showing up today selflessly, willing to share some of their secrets with us, and let's get into it. So without further ado, I'm excited to welcome to the KFA stage for the very first time, Allie Kimmel, Hannah Dubine, and Hal Bird.